Without further ado, please welcome the founder, CEO of CliQr, Gaurav Manglik.
Thank you, Chad, and thank you, Tracy. You guys are awesome partners. So about CliQr, for those of you who don't already know us, we are a Silicon Valley-based startup, been in business for over 4 years. And in a nutshell, CliQr provides a cloud management platform that allows companies to very easily and efficiently onboard, manage, and govern applications on underlying private or public cloud infrastructures. So maybe I can start off by mentioning a couple of observations that led me and my co-founder to leave VMware and start CliQr. A couple of observations that we are actually seeing validated in the cloud market today. The first observation is in general around the market itself. So cloud, in particular, infrastructure as a service cloud computing, has seen a tremendous journey over the past few years. What started off as a lot of fear, a lot of education about cloud, has turned into masses of companies adopting cloud today. Cloud is no longer confusing. Today, the enterprises of the world understand how cloud can bring value to their businesses, be it agility, cost savings, or scalability. So the question that we are seeing in the market is no longer why cloud, but how do you adopt cloud for real-world applications in the enterprise landscape? That's observation number one, how to adopt cloud. The second observation is that most companies, 80% plus, are adopting cloud in a hybrid fashion. What does that mean? That means that most companies have one or more cloud environments that they're looking to run their applications on. What is driving this? We see a couple of reasons, a couple of factors that are driving hybrid cloud adoption. One is the cloud market, infrastructure as a service, is getting very rapidly commoditized. Today, companies have multiple options, both on private clouds as well as public clouds, to use as their infrastructures. And the enterprise wants optionality. You don't want to get locked in to a single cloud computing infrastructure. The second reason is today there's a huge diversity in workloads, in the kind of applications that a company runs, and there's a huge diversity in underlying clouds. So companies are looking to move different applications to different cloud infrastructures. Very common examples are running development and test workloads on public clouds like Amazon Web Services, while running mission-critical, security-sensitive applications, often third-party commercial applications on private cloud infrastructures. So that's the second observation. Cloud is being adopted in a hybrid fashion. So where does that leave us? What we are seeing is that in order to adopt cloud, any single cloud, moreover, hybrid cloud is a very difficult problem to solve. Most of you have first-hand experience in trying to use public clouds like Amazon Web Services and private cloud technologies like OpenStack and VMware. Today, cloud is very infrastructure-centric. Every cloud comes with its own APIs around compute, storage, networking, security, and best practices around user management, governance, et cetera. So to get an application up and running on any cloud, you have to go through a sequence of steps where you have to create automation as an example that can be used for migrating applications, implementing application lifecycle management, and on top of that, governance around security, user management, cost control, et cetera. That problem is difficult enough on a single cloud. But if we look at multiple clouds, the problem becomes exponentially more difficult. Any automation, any scripts that you might add for a single cloud tend to be hardwired, hard-coded to that cloud provider. And that results in lock-in. Many companies have faced these issues firsthand. In a way, the problem is very similar to the problem of hardware when computers first came decades ago. Back when there was no operating system, it was the user's responsibility to manually load up an application on the underlying hardware. In cloud, companies are facing the same challenge. There's hardware, there's infrastructure, and there are applications, but there's a missing link in between. CliQr is essentially solving the problem of that missing layer. Think of us like a cloud operating system. We're a cloud management platform that runs and supports multiple underlying cloud technologies, and we hide the complexity of the cloud. Not only do we hide it, but we abstract out different cloud infrastructures So the end user, our end users, don't have to be an expert on each and every cloud infrastructure. We provide a very simple application-centric view where you can come in, rapidly migrate or onboard applications through what we call profiles. Profiles are very simple blueprints where a user can quickly, rapidly describe their applications to CliQr. You don't have to go through a lengthy, extensive migration scripting exercise. Once that is done, this is a packaged software platform. CliQr will automatically provision the right infrastructure on an underlying cloud of your choice, deploy the application, provide ongoing management, such as policy-driven automation, as well as the ability to govern multiple users, multiple tenants in an organization, control who can run what, where. So that's a little bit about the platform itself. Today, we do support the most common private and public cloud technologies, the most common private clouds, such as based on VMware, OpenStack, CloudStack, Cisco UCSD, as well as the most common public clouds that enterprises are adopting. So let's take a very quick sneak peek on how the product itself looks. We have a demo set up outside in the booth area. I would love to get into more details. But just to show you how simple this is, what you're seeing here is a screenshot. And the screenshot is based on the most common application that everybody uses in cloud computing demos, WordPress. So think of WordPress as a 3-tier application where you have a database, an application server, and a load balancer. And you need to run it on an underlying cloud infrastructure. Typically, the user would have to model this application, would have to write scripts, where, as an example, if you're trying to run this on Amazon, in that script, you'll have to call EC2 APIs, EBS, security groups, so forth and so on. But all the user has to do in CliQr is, in a very simple Visio-like topology designer, drag and drop the components that make up your application, interconnect them, describe the requirements from the underlying infrastructure around compute, around memory, networking, security. That exercise is really simple to do. Any application administrator, any system administrator, an engineer can do this without knowledge of the cloud. Very importantly, this exercise does not require the user to create any cloud-specific code or cloud-specific scripts. Once done, the user gets a very simple App Store, Apple-like look and feel. You have a catalog where you can view all your applications. You can press a button, and CliQr will automatically deploy the application on a cloud that you select. And this is what we think the future is going to be. This is a feature inside our platform that a lot of our customers find very interesting. But essentially, because CliQr can run applications on different clouds, you can even test out what cloud is going to be the best execution engine for your application. You can run a benchmark. We will run the application on different public clouds, your own private cloud, try out different regions, try out different virtual machine instance types. Often on a single cloud, like an Amazon, like a Google, like an HP, it's impossible to tell what's the right configuration to run my application on. But we'll automate that. We'll run a benchmark. We'll determine the actual application cost to run on that infrastructure, the actual application performance, and you can compare clouds, apples to apples, and see where the application is getting the best price, the best performance, or the best trade-off between price and performance. Really, cloud is getting commoditized, but we feel CliQr is actually accelerating that commoditization even faster and giving companies, our users, the choice to run on the best cloud. I'll briefly mention the product architecture that we have. This is critical to everything that we have done. We have a couple of key patents in this area as well. The platform is called Cloud Center. It's a distributed architecture that's composed of 2 key components. A central manager. Think of the manager as a browser-based control plane from where you can manage multiple users, multiple applications, and multiple clouds. But the second piece of this technology is an orchestrator, which is CliQr software that's resident on every cloud under management. So as a large enterprise, let's say you're managing a couple of public clouds, a couple of private clouds, you'll have one orchestrator running on each of those clouds. That's CliQr's key technology. It's an abstraction layer that has southbound integrations built into different clouds. And that layer exactly knows how to spin up the right infrastructure on any given cloud as per an application blueprint. So going back to my WordPress example, without CliQr, a user would have to create a clunky script to automate the provisioning and deployment of WordPress on any given cloud. But inside CliQr, you're just creating that simple blueprint and capturing the requirements. A very simple example, suppose you need firewall rules in that WordPress topology. And if you decide to run it on Amazon, our Amazon plugin will make sure that the Amazon firewall rules are configured using the best practices on Amazon, namely security groups. But if it's VMware, we'll be calling into VMware NSX APIs. So we have a tremendous list of customers that's rapidly growing, some that we have been working very closely with Trace3 on, the likes of DirecTV, Kaiser, and PIMCO. Our customers are using us for a variety of use cases, ranging from very simple, fast application onboarding and management on clouds, to IT as a service, as well as cross-cloud DevOps. A very interesting thing we are seeing across our customers is that they're running on multiple cloud environments. So with that, that brings me to my summary. I'd be happy to meet you outside in the booth area and cover more details. But effectively, CliQr is making it very simple to adopt cloud for your applications. Thank you, everyone.